Welcome back. If you haven't noticed, there are budget problems facing the state of California, a massive budget deficit. How massive is up to debate between the governor and the legislative analyst's office. And of course, there's a problem in city governments as well. Matt Szabo is the Los Angeles City Administrative Officer. He joins us, I believe, from City Hall. So, Matt, thanks for taking the time. There are problems with your budget. Tell us, what is the health of city government right now fiscally?
Well, Los Angeles is, unlike many other cities, is heavily sensitive to the economy. Other cities rely mostly on property tax, which is very stable. Los Angeles relies on sales tax, business tax, taxes on hotels, and taxes on sales of property. So when we have swings in the economy or softening the economy, it has a significant effect on city revenues. As your viewers know, there's been a period of inflation over the past few years. It was almost 10% in 2022. And that has had an impact on consumer behavior. We're seeing sales tax come down, we're seeing business tax come down, and stays in our hotels come down. And then, of course, your viewers are aware that interest rates are very high, and that has had a significant downward effect on the housing market. And at the same time, that inflation has put an upward pressure on wages. So when you have upward pressure on wages and downward pressure on city revenues, that creates a gap that we are facing right now that we need to fill.
And you're filling it by cutting positions. How many, and what departments are going to be hit the most?
Sure. So the city currently has about 3,600 positions that we pay for, but that are vacant. So we're paying for positions that are not filled and are delivering no services. So the recommendation is to move that money to other priority areas, obviously to help close that gap. And we believe that that is a way that we can reduce the deficit, focus on priorities without having to actually reduce service, because those are currently vacant positions. That's a practice that we need to pull back on if we're going to have a balanced budget and are able to fund our priorities. We are looking pretty much across the board. We are not recommending any reduction of sworn police or fire, but we are looking really across the board at reducing vacant positions in all departments, which would include sanitation, rec and parks, transportation, street services.
A few years ago, there was a ballot measure in the city that was the so-called Millionaires tax, which increased the transfer tax by 8-fold. Not just for residential properties, but any property, vacant lots, apartment buildings. The target was, we were told, it's going to bring in $1 billion. How much money has that really brought in?
So that has certainly not brought in that level of funding. And we think there are two reasons for that. One is when that measure was implemented, there was a slowdown in the sale of those properties above $5 million and $10 million, the two thresholds for the measure. But then also we're looking at a housing market that is at a low point right now due to the high interest rates. So we expect that will bring in somewhere between $200 and $300 million this year.
Where does your recommendation go next? And can you say with any kind of assurance to the people of Los Angeles that they will not see a substantial reduction in services as a result of this?
Well, the recommendation was designed to reduce spending with a minimal impact on services. And we believe that these recommendations will not require a reduction in services, will not require layoffs, for example. The next step is that the city council may take this up for consideration, but really the mayor will be proposing her budget in April, in just a few weeks now. And of course, Mayor Bass has experience. She was Speaker of the Assembly during some significantly financial difficulties. We're certainly not there yet, but she will propose a balanced budget and the council will consider it. I expect that budget will include many of these position reductions.
Matt Szabo is the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Los Angeles. Matt, thanks for taking the time.
All right, thank you.
We'll have some final comments after this.